So fast forward to 1982, when I was posted to Singapore. It was my first head of mission job, and it couldn't have been more different assignment from my original one. The High Commission had very good and close contact with the defence people, the brigadier at the time. I used to go out to the base from time to time, and we'd brief each other as to what was happening. Here is a final parade which they gave me when I left Singapore. This is taken at the military base, and Singapore valued our presence there, and we stayed longer than anybody else. And it was not too long after I left, the battalion returned to New Zealand. This is of a, obviously, the Waikato was in port and they invited me. But I should say that one part of the New Zealand force, it was called NZ4SEA, New Zealand Force Southeast Asia. The close relationship I had with the helicopter unit, which was quite small, and they ferried the soldiers back and forth to Johor Bahru in Malaysia, where they exercised in the bush. And Foreign Affairs have already got some photographs of me going to visit them in the jungle. Ooh. But the helicopter unit had a dog, and the dog was called Muldoon. And they had given this dog, which was a terribly ugly dog, some kind of pug, and they'd given it a very junior rank in the Air Force. What's the most junior rank in the Air Force? I don't know. But anyway, that's the rank that Muldoon had. So I said in jest one day, oh, I've got a beautiful dog called Rusty. And Rusty was given to the New Zealand government by the Singapore government as a guard dog because there'd been burglaries at the residence. And so I inherited Rusty from my predecessor, who had inherited him from his predecessor. But I absolutely adored Rusty.
He doesn't look very vicious.
Because
more likely to lick you than guard.
I had turned him into a pet, and I don't think Rusty did much guarding. But anyway, the helicopter unit said, look, after some consultation among themselves, they contacted me and said, we would like to promote Rusty to squadron leader. And I said, oh, that would be wonderful, but couldn't he be an Air Vice Marshal? And they said, certainly not, because the most senior helicopter, the leader of the group was a squadron leader. So that was as high as Rusty could go. So a ceremony was held at the residence. Here was the guard of honour.
Oh, this is for the dog ceremony?
This is for the dog ceremony.
I thought that was a formal amazing.
No, they came, and then the citation was read, canine officer of the Royal New Zealand Air Force from the first day of December 1984. And he was led onto the parade ground, and here you see him getting his award. I'm sorry to say, Rusty died, but after I left. In fact, I was in Paris, and the High Commissioner of the time sent me a condolence letter and a photo of Rusty in his last days. So you see, we all have tragedies.
Yeah.
That's
Seemed like he
the
had a good
end of Singapore.